It's going to be nice, though. I think getting out of the spotlight and just getting to live my life and do things that I want to do, and not have to sit. And I love talking to all of you, but it's going to be nice to not have to sit in front of a microphone multiple times a week. I really appreciate all of you, but it will be nice to kind of get away and relax for a little bit. And I appreciate everything you all do as well, so I thank you.
Breaking: Caitlin Clark is out. The WNBA's brightest rookie has announced she's heading to Europe after an alleged racial assault by veteran Alyssa Thomas and shocking neglect from her league. Is this the final straw? In this video, the incident, the controversy, the consequences, and what it could mean for Caitlin, the WNBA, and the future of women's sports.
Yeah, I think just being competitive is who I am. It's what I've done my whole career. I think at times there's ways I can probably channel it a little bit better, but that's just basketball at the end of the day. That's never gonna change. I'm never gonna lose that. I feel like I'm getting hammered. I don't know. I appreciate Christy getting attacked too.
It began as a fairy tale. Caitlin Clark, the Iowa superstar, shattered WNBA rookie records, electrifying arenas and driving viewership surges. She didn't just play. She saved franchises like the Indiana Fever.
Honestly, it's been a lot of nonsense. I think in my 11-year career, I've never experienced the racial comments from the Indiana Fever fan base. We had her face on a serious matter that happened in this world, and it's unacceptable, honestly. And there's no place for it.
But every story has a turning point. In a playoff clash, Alyssa Thomas launched a brutal screen on Clark, knocking her down in front of millions. It wasn't just hard-hitting, it sparked racial outrage.
Basketball was something I absolutely loved to do, but there was a lot of other things I had to have done in my life, whether it was school, whether it was, emptying the dishwasher or taking out the trash. I had chores, it stunk. I think it'll definitely be a little bit of an adjustment period for myself, not really having to do that so much. I woke up yesterday, I'm I don't know what I'm gonna really do. So it's gonna be nice, though. I think getting out of the spotlight and just getting to live my life and do things that I want to do, and not have to sit. And I love talking to all of you, but it's gonna be nice to not have to sit in front of a microphone.
Instead of protection, Clark got silence. The WNBA watched as she was repeatedly targeted moment after moment. Officials looked away. No fines. No discipline.
Connecticut Sun forward Alyssa Thomas and Indiana Fever coach Christy Sides both called for the abusive comments toward W players to stop during their respective post-game news conferences following Game 2 on Wednesday night. Thomas went as far as to ask the league to step in to do something about the behavior.
ESPN built their audience on Clark's games, but didn't defend her. Instead, they amplified slurry debates, while Clark was left to fend for herself.
My 11-year career, I've never experienced the racial comments from the Indiana Fever fan base.
Clark didn't quit, she escaped. Reports reveal she's negotiating a lucrative short-term European contract up to $500,000 for just a few months, with housing and endorsement perks. Meanwhile, Geneva waits.
It's unacceptable, honestly. And there's no place for it. And we've been professional throughout the whole entire thing, but I've never been called the things that I've been called on social media, and there's no place for it. We come to play basketball for our job and it's fun, but we don't want to go to work every day and have social media blown up over things like that. It's uncalled for, and something needs to be done, whether it's, them checking their fans or this league checking. There's no time for it anymore.
At the heart of this stands the bitter rivalry between Clark and veteran voices like Thomas, Reese, and Swoops, raising questions of race, equity, and favoritism.
Those guys, they're the racists, when really, y'all are the racist.
If Clark goes, the WNBA loses its biggest star and fan base. Attendance, viewership, and trust could evaporate. The league's failure to protect her speaks loudly.
It's unacceptable, honestly. And there's no place for it. And we've been professional throughout the whole entire thing, but I've never been called the things that I've been called on social media, and there's no place for it. We come to play basketball for our job and it's fun, but we don't want to go to work every day and have social media blown up over things like that. It's uncalled for, and something needs to be done, whether it's, them checking their fans or this league checking. There's no time for it anymore.
In her presser, she said, "I need a reset. I want to live, not game." Europe isn't an escape, it's a lifeline. A place to play, to rest, to heal.
I think in my 11-year career, I've never experienced the racial comments from the Indiana Fever fan base.
Caitlin Clark saved the WNBA, and it cast her aside. She left not because she couldn't succeed, but because the league failed her. So tell us, was she right to leave? Should the WNBA have fought harder? Comment below, share your thoughts, like and subscribe. WSBL Unfiltered covers stories no one else will.
Instagram and Twitter, these are choices we make. There's an easy way. The league doesn't have to get involved. The Indiana Fever don't have to do something to get you away from social media. Put your phone down. Don't download the apps. Don't engage.
Breaking news. Caitlin Clark, the rookie phenom who reignited the WNBA, is leaving the league for Europe. And the catalyst? What she's calling a racially motivated assault by veteran Alyssa Thomas. The league watched, did nothing. Now Clark says enough. This is the moment that could reshape women's sports forever.
Caitlin Clark is Kunta Clark. She's the actual slave that everybody else is exploiting for their benefit. Angel Reese included at the top of that list. Now Alyssa Thomas jumps in and says, let me get my piece.
Caitlin Clark burst onto the scene, breaking rookie records, skyrocketing attendance, and drawing TV ratings that doubled the league average. Her impact? Monumental. In a tense playoff game against Connecticut, veteran Alyssa Thomas delivered a violent screen that left Clark rolling on the floor. Clark's performance faltered, but the fallout was just beginning. Despite physical hits mounting, including pokes and bruises, the WNBA and officiating fell silent. 177% of all flagrant fouls were against Clark, with 80% from the Chicago Sky. And yet, no meaningful action. ESPN profited from Clark's fame. Games averaged 2 million viewers versus 400K for the rest. But when Clark needed their voice, they stayed quiet. Thomas's accusation, the WNBA favoring Clark because of race, exposed a rift. Can the league promote a white star without sidelining veteran black athletes? Now Clark's heading to Europe, reportedly for up to $500,000 in a short contract, seeking peace from racial intolerance, physical aggression, and press gates in the WNBA. Losing Clark isn't just a loss, it's a crisis. Empty seats, collapsing ratings, and a new star overseas. Can the WNBA survive a league without its most marketable player? Clark remained mostly silent. Her games spoke volumes. Thomas's claim? A salvo in a deeper battle over race, respect, and representation. Their rivalry has become symbolic of systemic fault. Caitlin Clark saved the WNBA, and now she's walking away. Did she make the right choice? Could the league have done better? Let us know below. Like, subscribe, and share for the real WNBA story unfiltered. In a moment that has stunned the basketball world and sent shockwaves through the entire WNBA landscape, rookie sensation Caitlin Clark has reportedly made the jaw-dropping decision to leave the league for Europe, just months after being hailed as the savior of women's basketball in America. Her exit, however, is not about money, fame, or even performance. It's about survival. Sources close to Clark confirm that her departure stems directly from what is being widely described as a racially charged physical assault by WNBA veteran Alyssa Thomas during a heated playoff matchup. The incident, captured on national television, showed Thomas delivering a vicious screen that left Clark writhing in pain, one of several high-impact hits she endured throughout her rookie season with little to no protection from referees or the league. But what turned the situation into an international scandal was not just the violence, it was the fallout. Thomas, after being suspended for the hit, publicly accused Clark's fanbase of racism and blamed them for the growing tensions in the league, claiming that during her 11-year career, she had never experienced the level of racially charged abuse until Clark entered the scene. Instead of apologizing or reflecting, Thomas doubled down in interviews, fueling a nationwide media firestorm about race, favoritism, and representation in a league already grappling with its identity. The WNBA, in turn, was accused of protecting narratives instead of players, promoting Clark's image for profit while failing to ensure her safety on the court. For Clark, who shattered viewership records, led the league in fan engagement, and sold more jerseys than any player in history, the betrayal cut deep. Though she never publicly fired back, her silence was louder than words, and now, her departure is louder than anything. It is not just a resignation from the game. It is a protest. It is a message that she will not tolerate being targeted on the court or vilified off it. By choosing Europe, Clark is reclaiming agency in a sport that appeared to weaponize both her race and her rising stardom. Her decision highlights the brutal double standard in the WNBA, where being the league's most marketable star doesn't guarantee protection, and where merit can be overshadowed by racial politics and media-fueled divisions. Her exit may become a defining moment in WNBA history, a tipping point that forces the league to reckon with the uncomfortable truths about race, respect, and the price of fame. The silence from ESPN, the defensive posturing from league officials, and the polarizing fan reactions have only deepened the fracture. Clark's decision to walk away isn't just about what happened during one game. It's about what the league allowed to happen all season long. It's about the hits, both physical and emotional, that went ignored. And in the eyes of millions of STUN fans, this isn't just the loss of a superstar. It's the collapse of trust in a league that failed to protect the very future it so desperately clung to. Caitlin Clark's shocking decision to leave the WNBA and pursue opportunities in Europe has ignited a firestorm of controversy, disbelief, and heartbreak across the sports world, and the reasons behind her departure are far darker than most expected. What should have been a historic rookie season, marked by record-breaking ticket sales, sellout arenas, and the highest TV ratings in WNBA history, quickly devolved into an ugly battlefield of unchecked violence, racial tension, and systemic failure. The breaking point? A racially charged physical assault delivered by Connecticut Sun veteran Alyssa Thomas during a high-stakes playoff clash. The moment Clark hit the floor after Thomas's brutal screen, the narrative shifted from competitive grit to something far more sinister. That screen, seen by millions, became the symbol of everything the league had refused to address all season long: the disproportionate physical punishment Clark endured, the lack of consistent officiating, and the hostile rhetoric surrounding her meteoric rise. But the real explosion came afterward, when Alyssa Thomas, instead of expressing concern or professionalism, turned the spotlight onto Clark's fanbase, accusing them of racial bias and hate speech, and implying that Clark's popularity itself was rooted in whiteness rather than talent. In one fell swoop, Thomas took the public conversation from sportsmanship to race warfare, leaving Clark at the center of a national racial controversy she never asked for. And while the WNBA quickly issued a suspension for Thomas, their broader silence on the racial narrative she introduced spoke volumes. For Clark, who had already been navigating physical assaults, media mischaracterizations, and locker room jealousy, this was the final straw. Her decision to walk away wasn't a retreat, it was a protest. A protest against a league that profited from her face, name, and historic impact, but failed to shield her from repeated attacks, both on the hardwood and in the headlines. Clark's move to Europe isn't about abandoning the game. It's about reclaiming it in a space where her talent, not her race, defines her value. Her silence throughout the chaos has been deafening. She never clapped back, never accused, never cried foul. But her actions now speak louder than any post-game press conference ever could. Her exit has left a gaping hole in the WNBA, both financially and symbolically. The league's most valuable star gone, the biggest ratings draw gone, and perhaps worst of all, a massive portion of the league's new fan base alienated. In leaving, Clark has exposed a much deeper wound, a league torn between progress and prejudice, between unity and division, between marketing and moral responsibility. This isn't just a sports headline, it's a cultural earthquake. And as the dust settles, one question remains: did the WNBA just lose its brightest star, or did it push her out?